Hi, my name is Victor Bart and this is my 2005 Suzuki Jimny micro camper, and in this video I'm gonna focus on the no roof rack solution that I have. Let's get this IKEA stool so we can film on top. Yeah, I'm not so tall, that's why I fit in the Jimny for sleeping, and now we can see the roof. So let's zoom in a little bit. So I have a solar panel, front LED light, side LED lights, Maxtrax, even a CB antenna, and everything is mounted without buying a roof rack. The Suzuki Jimny comes with handrails. This piece is aluminium, but this piece is plastic, and also in the rear it's completely plastic. So some people mount rooftop tents on top of here, and then this breaks off. So you cannot put too much weight on the handrails. Mounting the CB antenna on the roof was pretty simple because it has a magnet. Here we have the front LED light, and it's a cheap Amazon light and I really hate it. It's not powerful enough, and this is now on here like maybe 8 months, 9 months, and it's completely already worn out. Also, it doesn't give enough light. It's just a cheapo thing, and they advertise it for 180 watts, and if I measure it, it's only 40 watts. So yeah, I don't like it, and I'm gonna replace it probably in the future. And how I mounted the light is with aluminium brackets, but first I put the aluminium brackets here and mounted it in between. I was thinking, oh, that's a great spot, but then I went driving, and with the airflow around it, my solar panel went bouncing and made a lot of noise. So I was thinking, let's put it here, and then straight in front of the solar panel. That also didn't work. Then I found this brackets and I tested it out and put it higher, did a test drive, and the noise was gone. So yeah, that's why this strange bracket is installed by the light. But it works great and it's adjustable, but right now it doesn't make any sound. And I have a 115 watt Victron solar panel on the roof that's connected to my power station, so I can run my fridge if I am off grid and don't run the engine. And also I mounted it with pop rivets and aluminium brackets and some nuts and bolts. And you see these strange blocks, they were made by the previous owner of the Jimny because they had a way bigger roof rack on top and they wanted to support the weight a little bit more. And on the front of the solar panel I put these plastic round pieces, and they are like to put behind your TV for cabling, and it's a perfect size. And the purpose of this is to just make it a little bit more that the wind flows around it. The solar panel doesn't make any sound. Also, I put it on the rear of the solar panel. And here you see my Maxtrax, and we made like a little basket for it out of metal L-shaped stuff, but as you can see it's already rusting, and I painted it with a few layers. So yeah, that needs to have more paint or replacement. And here on the rear we have my Maxtrax. I think they are the lights or the minis, not sure. I will put links in the description to the parts that I show you, so you can check it out and see what can be useful for your own Jimny or other off-roader. And to mount them on the roof we made like a basket with some L-shaped profiles we welded together, and I painted, but my paint job isn't so good because it's already rusting here. Also, the mounts of the side lights are rusting. Here the screw is rusting, and this is only from 9 months, so yeah, maybe some paint is useful. And to mount the Maxtrax I just used like a little ratchet strap and a bike lock. So the bike lock was only €6 instead of the pins that are super expensive. And because this is fully plastic, so if you put the pop rivets just in here it will break. But this bracket is made completely inside of here to the bottom here, so if there's a lot of force on top, it doesn't break through the plastic here. And I put rings here to put a tarp on the back of the Jimny. And these lights are super handy on the side, because if I turn them on, I can see what I'm doing in a dark forest and see the side of the Jimny. This light is almost more important than the front LED light. That is for fun, and this is really necessary that you can see what you do. And also on the rear we also have two LED lights. So when I need to park in the dark, I put them all four on and I see what I'm doing. That is so important. But these lights are so cheap and they are 15 watt in the advertisement, but if I test it, it's only 4 watts. So yeah, that is not so great. And also here you see the oxidation on the light. It just doesn't look pretty anymore. Oh yeah, it's the Maxtrax lights, and here's the simple bike lock and the strap. And they are super sturdy on top. I now also installed window flares here. And I put a cover around the spare wheel. So before we go, let's do a little update on the interior. I painted it and varnished it. I put the power station back here. I put a shelf on top of here with extra LED lights. My fishing rods are now on this side, and I have a water tank, running water, and I built a new kitchen. Let's see if I can do that one-handed, because there's already stuff inside. Okay, it's a little bit too heavy for one-handed operation, but this is my new kitchen box. I bought a jet boil stove. Here's a windshield because I had problems cooking in the wind. Here's like a little cover with some random stuff. Here utensils. Here's some piece that goes in here, so the windshield has some more support. The utensil tray can be pulled out. Here are my pots and plates and cups, stuff like that. And here's my food pantry. My fire extinguisher is now behind the driver's seat, and I made a bracket for my flashlight. This no roof rack solution works really well. Only I want to have more on the roof, because the Jimny has only a 40-liter fuel tank, which was fine on my trip to the North Cape and back, because there are fuel stations everywhere. But this summer I want to go to Iceland, and I want to go on the remote tracks, so I need more fuel. And on the back door of the Jimny, there's not much room in capacity and weight and physical room to put like jerry cans. So that's no solution. And I was thinking, yeah, let's maybe get a long range tank, but nobody has it anymore. So if you know a long range tank that is really solid, let me know, because I'm interested. So my solution is to put the fuel on top of the roof, but right now I don't have any more weight that I can put on the roof before things are going to break. That's why I'm making this video now, to show you this solution, which I am really happy about it. But yesterday I ordered a roof rack for the Jimny, and I talked with Susie's place about which roof rack is now really solid, which one should I get. And I said the front runner one, which is really expensive, but they said it's just the best, the least wind noise. It's a good platform with a lot of options. So yeah, I ordered the front runner roof rack by 4x4 Sint Anna Land, and I'm gonna install it in a few weeks probably on the roof. I will remove the cheap Amazon lights, because the little ones were 10 euros and the front one was 43 euros. I will put the links in the description if you are interested in like super low quality, low output lights. But they are working always. So in terms of the electronics, it's fine. Only the way how they look and the output is a little bit low. But I'm gonna replace the lights around it. I found some really small LED lights that are super bright, but more on that later. And on top of the roof rack I will still put my solar panel. I will probably make a plate of metal for the antenna, because the roof rack is aluminium. And I'm gonna put Maxtrax on the roof rack, or maybe on the side of the roof rack. I probably gonna make my own brackets, but also Frontrunner has brackets for it, so maybe later I decide I will get something like that. But for now I decided I gonna make my own brackets and my own customization, because I have a workshop and I can do all the jobs myself. And on the rear of the roof rack I want to have at least 40 liters fuel, maybe 50 liters. So yeah, I want to have a lot of fuel. I know there will be a lot of weight on the roof, and they say the roof can only support 30 kilos, blah blah blah. And the way how I see it is, you put a lot of weight on the roof, but when you are driving and you have room in your tank, you take a jerry can off and put it in your tank, because I want to probably make it with like 10-liter jerry cans, like the smaller jerry cans that you can easily put on the roof and take off. So if you have room for 10 liters of fuel in your tank, you can take 10 kilos off your roof. So only the first 2 hours there's full weight on the roof, but after 2 hours it can be 10 kilos lighter on the roof, and so on. But I'm not sure which fuel container solution I want to get. I like the metal fuel containers. You have also like a low model, but you have also like the modern plastic ones of Overland Fuel, stuff like that, but they are a bit expensive. And then you have like cheaper plastic jerry cans, not sure how long they last. So yeah, I'm not sure yet which fuel container I want to put on the roof. But for me the roof rack is like the preparation, like the stage 2 upgrades for the Jimny for Iceland, because the last year I did the wheels and tires and the lift and the snorkel and like the stage 1 upgrade, so it's now time for the next upgrades. Here in the dashboard I made a little control panel for the lights, and I will put an Amazon link in the description to this switch panel, because it's awesome. This button is for the front LED bar, the side lights and the rear lights. And it has control lights in the switches, and the nice thing is this is completely legal to do it this way, because you can just turn it off, and the lights on the roof are not made for road use, but for off-road use it's fine. And if you need to park in a dark street, you can turn it on without an issue here in the Netherlands. If you like to see more of my Jimny and the whole Jimny trip that I made to the North Cape in 3 weeks time, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. And if you have any questions about this solution or the Jimny, please ask them and I will try to answer them all.